The International Centre for Excellence is a unique private educational organisation. It is situated in Bayswater in Western Australia. It offers exciting and innovative education programmes to help all children reach their potential. Professional development programmes for teachers to promote high standards of teaching within schools. Courses and counselling services for parents. Specific courses to help businesses and organisations improve productivity, emotional intelligence and time management. The director of ICE, a talented and visionary educator Victoria Carlton, creates and writes the programmes, conducts research and ensures all services and courses are of high quality and really do benefit all attending children and adults. Her courses improve literacy, numeracy and emotional intelligence and empower all who participate. The centre has state-of-the-art resources and media so that all learning styles are catered for. Victoria assesses children and ensures children are placed on appropriate individual or group programmes to suit their needs. Children are assessed by Victoria to determine learning style, levels of literacy and numeracy and profiled according to the 8 intelligences. They are then placed on programmes that will best fit their specific learning needs. There are 3 main groups of attending children. Children who are not reaching their full academic potential and perhaps learn differently. Children who are way ahead of their peers and are bored and needing extension. Children who just choose to come for the lively, creative teaching methods employed. The principal, Danielle Manning, ensures that the centre runs smoothly and that staff are well trained and fully understand all teaching programmes and the needs of their students.
I absolutely love teaching at ICE. I've taught all over the place in all sorts of educational institutions and different schools, and I really believe that this is the place where children feel welcomed. We teach in all sorts of multisensory ways, and children really get to explore their own particular learning style. We look at multisensory strategies. We empower children to reach their full potential, and our motto here is per ardua ad astra, through struggle to the stars.
Victoria, why did you initially start ICE? What was your vision?
I wanted to create something different. I wanted to create a really exciting educational environment for children. I wanted somewhere where they could come and they could feel nurtured, they could grow all their academic strengths, and somewhere where they could come and be helped with any weaknesses they had. And I wanted it to be welcoming and completely different to school.
Why can't I see any tables or desks? This doesn't look like a tuition centre.
Well, when we first started many years ago, we did have tables and desks, and one day I looked around and I thought, this just looks like a school, I'm not having it. So they're all out in the shed. They were here and they're all out in the shed. So now you'll see children sitting with clipboards, and they'll be sitting at lecture chairs, and they'll be sitting on the floor on special little bean bags. And so it gives that feeling of coziness, of being in a house rather than being in a big school environment, and it just creates that sense of difference. And for me, it means that children can be creative. They can ask questions, you know. We're definitely not a school. We're a centre for learning.
Do you use the same programme for each child you teach?
No, we don't. It would be a lot easier if we did, but we don't, and we tend not to be too worksheet based either. So we look at every child and we look at the needs that they have, and then we decide what will be the best program to help this child to learn. And so basically every child that comes here has an individualised program, even though they will often work in small groups. So many of these programs we write ourselves, and some of the programs we have chosen from the very best available in the world, because I believe that children deserve the very best of educational programs, and they must be evidence-based. There must be programs that we know will work.
Don't you think some children simply do not have the ability to learn?
No, I don't. I believe that every single child that is born in the world is a gift to the world and has the ability to learn. And I think that as educators, it is really our job to research these kids, to do a lot of kid watching and see, what does this child need to be able to grow? What fertiliser do I need to be able to put into the soil of learning here? What's really going on for this child? So it is really up to us to find that button that will switch on the learning.
I noticed that your teaching model is called CREAM. What does this mean?
Well, CREAM actually sums up our philosophy of education. The C stands for creative, so we believe that in every lesson that we must have a creative element because children are creative, and as soon as you do something creative, they spark up and their brain switches on. The R stands for reflective. We believe that children need time to reflect on their learning. You know, what have you learned? What do you need to learn now? How can we deepen this learning? So we don't do things at speed in here. We do things properly. We take the time. E is for engaging. We believe that you may think that you're teaching, but unless the child is fully engaged, they're not going to be learning. So our methods must be really, really engaging for children. And in order for that to happen, we need a lot of activity. So A is for active. So we need the kids to be moving around, touching things, doing things. This is how children learn. Okay, and M is for multisensory. So we try, whenever possible, to engage as many senses as we can. The more senses that are engaged in learning, the more learning will actually take place.
When you talk about intelligence, you use the plural intelligences. What do you mean by this?
Well, that's because well over 20 years ago, an amazing researcher, Howard Gardner from Harvard University, discovered that we actually have more than one intelligence. We have at least 8, if not more. And these intelligences range from things like the word intelligence to maths logic intelligence, naturalist intelligence, visual spatial intelligence. And what we do is we try to stimulate each one of these 8 intelligences, and we sort of use the kids' strengths to go to the weaknesses. So if we have a child who's very strong in their visual spatial intelligence, that they will probably be quite good at art and they love using colour and they love drawing, we will use that intelligence to really help them to improve their word intelligence. So they might write their spelling words out in lovely bright colours. They might draw a picture of what happened in the story to deepen their comprehension. So we try to link these intelligences as much as we can.
How do you envisage ice growing in the future? What is your vision?
Well, I have to say the vision has grown and grown. We started off with a very humble tuition centre, and basically now we are providing professional development for teachers all over the world. We also have people who are now purchasing licences to use our methods and coming in for full training. I think the way I see it now is it's like a ripple effect. I think our methods and philosophy are starting to ripple out to the world, and we have many plans for the future, and we will probably start a model school here in Western Australia as well. But our real plan is to let the balloon go so that these methods will go right out throughout the world so that children will be able to access them.
Victoria, thank you for talking to me today, and I do genuinely hope that you achieve your vision.
Thank you.
Children are encouraged to use a wide range of media and equipment to deepen their literacy and numeracy understanding. Some children work in small groups and others prefer to work in an individual mode. They are encouraged to ask questions to clarify understanding. Specially trained teachers work with the children to guide and lead the students to new concepts and understandings. Students of all ages are welcomed into the International Centre for Excellence. Educators around the world can now purchase a licence and full training to use Victoria's unique, creative and effective approach to education.